Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Unfiltered stream. And I'm just realizing I completely forgot to do a freaking thumbnail for this. Damn, I guess I'll do that afterwards. That's poor performance on my part. But anyway, we're back here tonight for another stream for more chaos as usual. There will be Lego, there will be general talking about random stuff. Do remember, there will be chaos. It is unfiltered. There will be bad words. If it's not for you, you know where the door is. If you want to stay and join in, say hello in the chat. And with that, who shall we introduce first? We have some people that come along to these things. And for once he was well early, and before I even turned up, it was Spacetime Brick Studio. How you doing, mate?
Good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well. How have you been keeping this week?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Excellent.
Staying busy.
Good. Well, we've also got another guest from your neck of the woods, as us Brits would say. And he's a builder of big things. He's been testing out stands on his walls in his house this week to see if they will hold huge loads. And take that as you will. But it's Joe Chambers.
Huge loads. Hi.
How you doing, Joe?
Good. How are you doing?
Living the dream, me, mate.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's another Anglicism I need to remember. How are you keeping?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, how you keeping? How you doing?
Yeah. Okay, all right. Yeah.
Us Brits would say that.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm working on getting this giant thing to hang on my wall, and it's working so far. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah, I can't complain.
We also have one more guest, although you guys can't see this because obviously you're on the just the invite side. But he's changed his name and he's changed his avatar already in the background here. So he's obviously having a good day. It's not Cut the Craggle, it's Fuck the Craggle. Here he is.
Oh no. Nope.
Wow.
Nope.
I have no words.
Well, there we go. I'll do a face review on your channel. I just thought it'd be funny to put a picture of a random bearded guy up. So I searched Google for random bearded guy, and this was like one of the first images, and I was like, it has to be done.
So just to be clear, that's not you.
No, it's not me, no.
Okay.
No, it's not.
I should have gone along with it and said it is me, shouldn't I have?
Yeah, see how far you could have dragged it out, mate.
Or you could be playing at that is you, but you're not telling us.
Oh yeah, that, yeah.
Yeah,
I could be doing that.
How are you, Mr. Cut the Craggle?
I'm all right. I'm still ill. I'm really at my wit's end with being ill now. So,
yikes! It's not the Rona, is it?
It could well be, in all fairness.
Oh no!
I mean, I already had suspected long COVID from around March, April this year. When I caught COVID. But yeah, I don't know, because I started getting really bad again after my sister got COVID. So, and that was around the time that the Omicron first started making its name known in the media over here. But the missus is ill as well. My parents are ill. I'm the worst out of all of them, but yeah, we're all kind of in a shit state. And before anyone asks, I had my 2 jabs, and I also pretty much never go outside my house, so it's really shitty that happened.
Hey, that last point probably could go without saying.
Yeah, I mean, look at my profile pic. Does this look like a man that has a good social life?
Whatever, man. Every time I talk to you, my day is brightened up.
Oh, that's nice of you to say.
It shows to go you how boring my life is. Anyway.
Oh, Joe.
I don't believe that for 1 second.
Okay.
I reckon Joe gets off these streams and he's like hanging out at the Playboy Mansion. You know, he's sniffing cocaine off hookers' backsides. I don't know.
I'm crushing up my Adderall and snorting it.
Yeah. Winning a blackjack.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever played blackjack.
Oh, dude. I tell you what.
Uh-huh.
We're playing.
We play blackjack now.
Not now.
Oh.
Because I ain't got a deck of cards to hand. But, you know.
I'm sure there's an online version of blackjack we could play, right?
Sure.
It probably is.
Yeah.
However, and point of fact, this is a Lego stream, though.
Is it?
You say that. I think the fact that I'm holding a Lego brick and there's Lego here is enough to get away with it. And the fact that you've got your background filled with it and his profile.
So it's a passively Lego stream.
Yeah, you know. It's enough to pass muster, you know.
Yeah. So, can I tell the big news?
You have big
pregnant?
News? Oh yes, you do have big news.
I do have big news.
Yeah, you go for it, Joe.
Yeah, so
mate. I'll make it full screen.
No, you don't have to make it full screen. Oh no, I look terrible. No, it's nothing much. I just got hired by Lockheed Martin this week, so I'm excited.
Did you get a job purely to stop me making the fun of you for not having a job?
Yes, pretty much. I'm like, I don't like this. It hurts.
Oh.
It hurts. No, it was after a lot of hard work. Yes. Anyway, I start January 3rd, so I just have a couple weeks to kind of, I don't know, play with the Legos.
Oh my word! He said it. He said Legos.
Oh, I did. Oh,
what does Lockheed do in Utah?
This is where I'm like, oh man, do I really want to work for them? They make drones, small quadcopter drones.
Like for the military or for Amazon or?
No, for military and law enforcement. So they're little portable drones, and I'm just going to be working on designing circuits, which is exactly what I wanted to do when I went back to school. So I'm excited about it. We'll see.
So basically what I'm hearing is don't upset Joe, otherwise you're going to have a drone at your doorstep going...
If it makes me feel better, these are observation drones only. They don't have weaponry on them. So.
Right. Of course.
You have to get
say that now. I've seen Terminator.
What was that?
Do you have to get a security clearance?
I don't think I do.
It's funny though, because Joe said that he went back to school because he wants to make circuitry, design circuitry. I went back to school because I wanted to fuck 16-year-olds.
Thanks, everybody. It's been a great stream. Have a good week.
Neither one.
Good fight. Good night. Wait.
Hey, 16 is the legal age in the UK, so it's fine.
Legal isn't always right.
he as much he does raise a valid point there. Craig.
I should say this is a joke, by the way.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
Just in case anyone out there is thinking, what the hell, that was a joke.
On that note, shall we see who's in the chat?
I can't even say that
joke?
my own joke. I heard a stand-up comedian make that joke a couple of years back, and it popped into my head when you said that.
Okay. I have a friend who's been dating his girlfriend since like they were both 14 and 15. So they've been together for like 15 years. And every once in a while he goes, hey, I fucked a 14-year-old. And you just go, oh, yes, that's true. But that was 15 years ago. Oh. Anyway.
Right. In the chat.
We're just over 10 minutes in.
We're over 10 minutes in and everyone's gone.
Yeah, probably, mate. Say hello to Jacob Neely.
Hello, Jacob.
Lady Sam B is around.
Hi, Lady Sam, if you're still around.
We also have Mrs. Craggle. Oh, hello.
I will say, though, there is a problem here.
What's that?
Because neither me or Joe have said anything quite as disturbing as the sight of Sam's penis missing the topper part up there.
Oh, you mean this thing?
I mean, I've heard of nearly headless Nick. This is actual headless prick.
It's a cup holder.
It's a... Okay.
Joe, you think I'm kidding? Look, my TARDIS glass fits perfectly in it.
I feel like I should be drinking now, and I'm not.
Mate, I'm thinking about requesting a bottle of Cobra from the missus. Wow.
We have got some Rattler cider, and I'm not in work tomorrow, so I don't think it's in the fridge, though. I think if I'm going to have a fruit cider, it's got to be cold.
Oh, sounds nice. Is that 23, Joe?
Yes. This is a 23.
Yeah, so
it's not quite as tall as the one you're building.
But your first stage though, and your quad boosters is what I'm aiming for.
Yep.
I mean, first stage, baby.
It does make a good cup holder, but I think it. Yeah. Okay. No. Never mind.
You started having things fall off.
It started coming apart. Okay.
So,
we should start over because this has gone off the rails.
Yeah. How do we bring this back?
I don't know. I blame space time.
I would too. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Space time. Have you got a story to share? Something cool happened to you this week? Something terrible happened to you this week?
Oh no.
Something tragic.
I accidentally deleted all my studio files.
What in the freaking world have you done that for?
So I was at a video shoot Tuesday night, and I was shooting a lot of B-roll. So I was shooting at 120 frames a second, 4K, because they went through cool slow-mo stuff. So I ended up filling up like 128 gigabyte card, and I needed the room on my hard drive.
Oh, jeez.
So I went to my videos folder that I used to use for stop motion photography, and I'm like, why am I keeping all these frames?
Oh no.
So I just went and deleted the folder. And last night, when I got on the studio, I wanted to look up an old project, and I realized I actually stored my old project files in a subfolder in there, because the folder I deleted was called Lego Builds.
Oh,
I'm like,
mother of.
I did not have restore points set up on my machine, just because it's something I've.
And you didn't have a backup at this hard drive?
No, because I keep the drive that I had this stuff on like as a working drive, and I just never set up backup. I just occasionally back things up when I have time.
Oh,
so it's like I do need to set up my auto backup.
I mean, I can't talk. I have a backup, but I haven't actually updated the backup in about 14 months. So,
but it's like all my new project files go directly to my server, and that's backed up. So
See, I work directly to my OneDrive folder now, So
too.
the moment I make a change, it's saved there and it's automatically on the cloud, on my laptop, and has restore points. And I'm like, just in case I mess it up.
So
I need to do something like that. I really do.
I just paid for more Google Drive space, so maybe I'll start putting more important stuff there.
Yeah, and I need to kind of do the same thing.
But anyway,
Anyway,
I was able to recover all the studio files that I had opened, like the past 5 of them, because it's kept in the most recent, and I guess Studio stores that somewhere safe. So I was able to recover like the Gozer Temple I've been working on, the Enigma Machine, and most importantly, the Boise Skyline. Since that's the one that's probably going to get instructions made.
Well, not if you delete it.
Yeah. And then I remembered I made a temporary save folder on a hard drive last summer. So I was able to recover all my big builds that I did from like Star Trek The Next Generation, because I've been slowly building the inside of that ship.
wow.
So I got those files back. But ones that I've been working on and was hoping to like do a video at the end of the month on, I lost the Cobra Kai dojo.
Oh no.
I lost the Cyberman helmet.
Handles.
I guess in some ways, though, that gives us an excuse to hold off on the Cobra Kai collaboration we were going to do, because I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, it's Force coming. What, we're like 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
So. But anyway.
Can
I share my
sorry
screen?
about that, dude.
Sam, can I share my screen?
Of course you can, mate. You crack on.
Crack on. Got to write that one down.
That's a good one, that one.
Okay.
So these are my next generation Brickheadz. I've just been updating the colors to make sure everything's available.
Tell me you have Barkley.
No, I need to make him.
You don't have Barkley?
He has
Oh,
Whoopi
no,
Goldberg.
cool.
I had to make all the skin tones tan because all these nice pieces don't come in light nougat.
Okay.
I think they do that anyway with Brickheadz. I remember when they did the Peter Venkman one, the flesh tone was tan, so they made his flight suit dark tan.
So all of these can be made except for Guinan here. A lot of these pieces don't come in purple, and I think the only thing that all these pieces come in is black, and I don't want to do that, so I need to just design a new outfit for her. But,
well, Guinan has many outfits, so that shouldn't be
exactly. But
do you have Chief O'Brien?
No.
Do you have Vagina Head? I mean, Commander Wolf?
Yeah.
Dude, if that's what you think a vagina looks like.
You got issues, man.
Well, have you not seen the Family Guy sketch? When they actually got all the cast of Next Generation to do it, and
Are you serious?
Picard says, "Number 2, if I was to say to you that Commander Wolf's head looks a bit like a vagina, would you join me in a giggle?" "Why, yes, I would." "Okay, here it goes. Commander Wolf's head looks a bit like a vagina. Ha 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 ha! You can all suck my ridges."
Suck my ridges.
Yeah, I'll remember that one.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, and other than Q, my other favorite is Ro Laren, just because I got the Bajoran earring.
That's
That's
awesome.
cool.
And then
You have Ro, but you don't have Chief O'Brien.
Well, Chief O'Brien was difficult to do because I'm like, how do I do his hair? And it's like, do I just do the same thing I did for Geordi and just give him some studs to make it look fluffy and curly?
Kind of, yeah.
So I guess I can just copy and paste what I did for Geordi.
I love his visor. That's great.
That looks really good.
Thanks.
And I was like, who's that? Who's that next to him? Oh, the cat. That's Data.
And Spot.
And Spot.
Yeah, so I'm still trying to come up with some accessories for everyone. I guess I can make some kind of engineering tool for Jordy. And then
a wrench, or as the Brits say, a spanner.
Do we just want to quickly put something in the chat to say we don't want any spoilers for No Way Home because not everyone on the panel has seen it?
Yes. No spoilers for No Way Home, please. At all.
Do you know what the name of the next Spider-Man movie is going to be? It's not a spoiler. It's just a joke.
Okay, what is it?
It's going to be Spider-Man Homeless.
Okay. I don't care about spoilers.
Sam does.
Okay, all right.
And why haven't you seen it yet?
Okay.
Because England is decaying into a sense of madness. COVID is on the rise, and it would be irresponsible of me to leave my house.
Wow.
I left my house, but
Boom. Unless it's
I went and did it because we're probably going to go into a circuit breaker after Christmas. In Wales, they've said that basically everything is fine, but after December 27th, everything has to shut down. So all these nightclubs that have like sold tickets and done events for New Year's Eve have had to all like refund people and stuff, and they're just saying it's going to destroy the hospitality industry. I
don't think we're going to last that long in England, purely because theatre shows are already starting to be cancelled and stuff like that. And
yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's one of
funny
those
as well because they were saying originally, Omicron might be more infectious, but it's a milder form of the virus. And now they've gone, actually, the rates of hospitalization are actually about the same. The only problem is that unless you have the third booster, your 85% immunity as opposed to 95% with the two.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to go get my booster.
Well, I had a text from the HS tell me about my one. My one is on Christmas Eve.
Mine's on the 27th.
Mine is literally the day before Christmas, on the day that I'm also working as well. So that's going to be a fun Christmas Eve for me because I'm going to be having side effects of a COVID jab and having to work as well. And I'm working until late on Christmas Eve as well. They got me in the late shift.
Oh, dude.
And this is why I am enjoying not working. Being unemployed.
This is why I was mocking you, because I envy you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not working Christmas Eve. I've got that day off. Because the company have seen it in their wisdom to give it to us. So I'm like, yeah. That's cool.
I mean, it's a miracle that I'm not working Christmas Day, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah, in your industry, that sometimes that does happen.
Well, without going too much into my job, my industry should really be closed on that day. But because of the way that, the society is going at 24/7 availability no matter what.
Correct, yes.
They want thing, which I just think is ridiculous because it's crazy because there was like a whole thing a couple of years back before COVID and everything where, was it B&M had like massive praise because they said that they were going to close for Christmas Day and Boxing Day because they think their staff deserve an extra day with their families.
Yeah, and everybody went, why aren't you closed those days anyway?
But the thing is, most places are open now on Boxing Day. It's crazy because it always used to be after you had like the week between Christmas and New Year's, and then you had the New Year's Day sales, and then they moved New Year's Day sales to Boxing Day, so people had to work on the day after Christmas. It was crap.
Okay, so what is Boxing Day?
December 26th.
Okay, that is not a holiday here.
It's on the calendars, Joe.
I know. Not when is it, but like what is the holiday of it?
John, there's actually not a confirmed origin of the holiday. There's a couple of different theories. One of them is being dated to the Middle Ages, and basically it was a tradition of giving small boxes with gifts or money to like homeless or to people less fortunate than yourselves the day after receiving gifts, or putting money in boxes in churches. And then there's also another one where it was like you would take one Christmas present that you would received and pass it on to someone else or something. So you give them a box. There's a couple of different ones. A lot of people in the UK though think it's because the boxing was always on Boxing Day.
Like you're boxing everything back up, like the Christmas tree and.
No. A lot of people thought it was boxing because of the sport boxing.
Oh,
because it literally was always. There used to be always boxing on Boxing Day.
There, Joe. Does that work for Chief O'Brien?
yes, love it. Yep.
I don't like it.
I would in those brown tiles on the side, I would make those plates as well. So the side of his head is curly. Yes, those.
Good call. Should I do that for Jordy too?
Maybe.
Or just to have a little bit of difference?
I'm trying to think of. No, Jordy usually had his head, the side of his head, like shaved, didn't he?
Didn't he also wear like a hairband over his face?
I mean, it's pretty puffy on the sides as much as it is on the top.
Okay.
So maybe I should put plates there as well.
Maybe. I mean, I've said it before. I think Star Trek The Next Generation informed my ethics and values more than almost anything else I ever did as a kid.
Yeah.
Including going to church.
Yeah, don't ask what would Jesus do. Ask what Jean-Luc Picard would do.
What would Jean-Luc Picard do? Yep.
Exactly.
I'll be honest. I never really watched Star Trek Next Generation. I like the film.
Fine. What was that?
I never really watched Star Trek Next Generation.
It might be worth a watch even now, but maybe skip the first two seasons.
I mean, I watched the films and I enjoyed the films.
Oh yeah.
I think I watched the odd
films
episodes.
are the worst part of Next Generation
That's true.
because it just evolves into action schlock.
Yep.
I don't know. I enjoyed Generations. I loved First Contact. Insurrection was abysmal, and Nemesis was okay.
Yeah,
You hit the nail on the head there. First Contact was actually really good, but it didn't feel fully Star Trek.
oh, and Captain Picard was not in that movie.
No, he wasn't.
Really?
A version of him was.
I mean, there was some strange alien possessing him, making him a lunatic action revenge person.
I don't know, because like I have watched the episodes where like Picard encounters the Borg a long time ago, and I always felt like it was a good continuation of that story. I always felt like it was natural, and he does come to his senses, like the whole thing. When he quotes Moby Dick as well, that feels very Picard to me.
Okay.
And then who am I to say? Because my knowledge comes from most of the films anyway. So
No.
And then Generations is just full of plot holes.
That is true.
Generations is full of potholes, but I did like it as a kind of passing of the torch. It got me in the feels.
Yeah, I just love his little rocket that the bad guy built on the planet. Worf's like,
What's it called?
It'll reach the sun in 7 seconds. It'll take me 30 seconds to target it and destroy it. And it's like, huh.
What's the red thing called? Is it not a rift or whatever it is?
The Nexus.
The Nexus.
That thing makes no sense because on one part it's like you don't actually go back in time, you go into a dream, but then it can spit you out at different points in time, which make no sense.
Yeah.
It's
One was really full of plot holes. And then so the thing is that the script got leaked. And so the studio was just like, oh, well, we have to change it. We have to change it. And so they changed the way that, spoiler alert, Captain what's his name died.
Captain what's his name?
Come on, not
Kirk.
Picard. Kirk. They changed the way Kirk died to a less heroic way of dying.
Yeah, I mean, I actually didn't have that. I know a lot of people were pissed out about the way he died. I didn't mind it. It wasn't
I
as
didn't mind it.
dramatic, I think, as he deserved, but at least he went down, trying to save somebody, which is very Kirk.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, he went. Yeah.
I know that William Shatner hated it so much that he wrote a trilogy of books set after Generations, where basically like Kirk is brought back by the Borg, and then eventually goes head to head against Picard, and then they team up against the Borg.
Yep.
Oh my god.
It's
I
called
know
The
that because
Return.
my friend, I had to lend my friend money when we were in the city
No.
center because he wants to buy them.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's like I don't see a reason to make a Barkley because he's gonna look almost like O'Brien but with different hair.
I suppose
Yeah,
he's more a
yeah,
Voyager
so-
crew now, anyway, isn't he?
What was that?
Barclay. He's more a member of the Voyager crew than he is of Next Generation.
Now, Voyager is something I can't stand because my same mate, who was quite a Trekkie, always used to try and get me to watch Voyager before we watched Smallville, and I was just bored shitless by that show.
Okay. I'll be honest, I fell out during Voyager, but I mean,
For the longest time, Voyager was the worst Star Trek show, but now that has fallen to Star Trek Discovery.
Well, this is what's weird about Voyager is that it ended so abruptly because I remember that was on initially before Smallville, and then all of a sudden then it was Enterprise on Channel 4. I don't think Voyager was on Channel 4. I think it was on Sky 1. But if I went with my mates to watch Smallville, like he would have Voyager on first and then switch channels. But like I always remember Enterprise being from that era, and yet Enterprise is probably like one of the least Star Trek-y Star Treks, right?
Well, yeah, it kind of has a good reason for that because it was before the founding of the Federation.
Oh, there we go.
So it's not based on the same ideals.
Yeah, I know, but I like they used to jump through so many hoops to try and explain like why that technology was actually more advanced than Kirk's and stuff.
Any
And like
Deep
also
Space
they
people?
had like a Vulcan on the ship before Spock, but because it wasn't a Federation, it's like it doesn't count. It was just I remember watching one episode, waiting for Stargate SG-1 and Smallville on Channel 4, because that used to be like those three shows on, and it was the captain jumping sideways through the air with twin phasers like a John Woo movie, and I was like, what the frick is this?
Yeah. That sounds like Scott Bakula.
Scott Bakula is great in Quantum Leap, and I would have thought he'd make a good captain, but like the show just seemed ridiculous. So I remember in the first series they had a tow cable rather than a tractor beam, and I was like, okay, well at least they're showing that they're not as advanced as Star Trek. And then the next episode, then they've got like weapons that are taken down, like I don't know, I think it's the Borg, I think that were left over from First Contact. And they're like, eh?
Yeah, there was a bit of that because I remember watching that episode and I go, hang on a second, I see what they're freaking trying to do here.
There was also the episode I remember where they had the alien Nazis in San Francisco.
Yes, yeah. That was season 4, episode 1 and 2. Yeah, that was. Yeah,
that happened.
That's definitely a I'm in the wrong part of this conversation kind of quote. They had those alien Nazis in San Francisco.
What was funny about that was they're like, do you know what? Screw it. Let's fly the ship into the atmosphere and just fly it over the top of the city and start blowing Stuka bombers out of the sky because that's a great idea.
Okay, I'm with you.
What did you just say, going?
The time travel in that episode was really weird because they didn't actually fix the time stream. They just defeated the alien Nazis, and by doing that, the time stream was like, oh, well, if they're defeated now, we'll just go back and undo everything they did.
Yeah.
That was basically it, wasn't it? Because I remember like the scene of like what was it? Archer? Yeah, Archer. That was his name, wasn't it? Captain Archer.
Yeah, Captain Archer.
Yeah,
and
he's
Daniel.
there, like, and it's like this random fog about him, and then the good aliens going, "The time stream is fixing itself." And it's like, oh, well, couldn't they have done that, like, without us having to have this huge battle?
Yeah, that was Daniels, who unfortunately he was like one of those things that could have been really, really good, but they just tried to go wrong.
So there was this movie back in had to have been like late 70s, early 80s that I saw on TV once. I think it was called like The Final Countdown. Why, I don't know.
That's a song, mate. That's a song by Europe.
Yeah.
Final Countdown. Yeah. But in this, The Final Countdown, I think that's what it was called. A U.S. Nimitz-class aircraft carrier, so a modern aircraft carrier, gets sucked into this time portal and sent back in time to right before Pearl Harbor. And I know what you're thinking. That would be fucking awesome. But the movie ends with the entire air wing of this modern aircraft carrier heading towards the Japanese fleet. And all of a sudden the captain of the carrier is like, "Oh no, it's that storm that sucked us back in time. Everybody get back to the carrier. We're going to go back to our time." And they get sucked back to modern time before a really fucking awesome air battle was about to take place. Like,
because obviously they can't affect the timeline.
Right.
Also,
So it would have been like F-14 Tomcats and FA-18 Hornets versus Zeros. Like, it would have been so awesome.
I think it also would have been no contest, but
Right. But also, F-14s didn't have a gun at that time, so if they got into close quarters combat, they could have done something.
Yeah, but all they needed to have been, all they needed was the F-14s to be flown by Tom Cruise and his best mates, and job's a good one. Nobody would have been shot down.
Or,
on the topic of Pearl Harbor, how bad is the actual film Pearl Harbor?
Oh God! As a World War II, that's another one of my hobbies. I love World War II history. It was so bad. There were parts of it that they got like spot on exactly right, but then Michael Bay just had to be Michael Bay, and he done Michael Bay all over that Bay.
He took Michael Bay over that page. You like those?
The one thing I really hate is that they basically make out that the Americans won the Battle of Britain at the end.
Yes.
Wait, which?
I mean,
and this was this was I think around the same time, or it was either a few years apart from when they did the U-boat film that made out the Americans got the Dakota, not the Brits as well.
Yeah,
and it's like, so America is basically just trying to rewrite World War II with movies.
You 571. It was actually a really good film, besides the historical inaccuracies. Yeah.
When I was in what is equivalent to your grade school, I think, primary school.
We call it elementary school. Yeah.
Elementary, fine.
Elementary, my dear Watson.
Yes, exactly. You should be able to remember that.
We had to do it. We did like topics at school, like each term.
Uh-huh.
And this particular term, we were doing a topic on World War II. And I happened to decide that it was a great idea to try and figure out why America wasn't prepared for the attack on Pearl Harbor. Me being like 8-9-year-old kid trying to figure out why America wasn't prepared for this.
Spoilers, they were.
Do you listen to podcasts much?
Pardon?
Do you listen to podcasts?
Yeah, some of them.
Okay. One of my favorite history podcasts is one called Hardcore History.
Yeah.
With a guy named Dan Carlin. He
I thought
did.
we've had this conversation before.
Yeah, probably. But he did the most detailed analysis of Japan in World War II. Audio, obviously. I'm not going to read a 1,000-page book on it. But if you're interested in that subject, he did an amazing breakdown of it. It was the reason they weren't prepared, if you can imagine this, is they just didn't think Japan had it in them.
They didn't think Japan had the cojones.
Yeah, they were just like...
I've read lots of conspiracy theories, and the one that I actually tend to believe, there's one that says that America did it themselves, which I don't believe that, but I do believe that they kind of knew that some attack was going to happen, and they let it happen because they needed the public opinion in order to enter World War II. The government wanted to enter it earlier, but the popular opinion amongst the American public was like, "Hey, we're not involved in this. It's got nothing to do with us. Let's stay out of it." And Pearl Harbor kind of rallied the country into let's go over there and kick their asses.
Yeah, and there were lots of Nazi sympathizers in the United States. Yeah, I've heard that.
Were?
There were, and then there weren't, and then there are.
I mean, I've seen Blues Brothers. The Illinois Nazis.
Oh boy. Yeah. Anyway, it's a good podcast. If you want to listen to it, it's just incredible.
We have this random thing in the UK. I forget the exact name. Sam will probably be able to tell you. Just not because he's one of them, but just because he'll probably know what I'm on about. But there's like a group, and I guess they are a political party over here. They're really racist. They're like white supremacists, right? But they go on about like, oh, our granddads fought for our freedom, and now you're losing it now by letting all these immigrants and stuff.
Oh,
really xenophobic stuff. But what's really stupid is loads of them get Nazi tattoos, and it's like, well. Do you know which side your granddads were on? Don't it just they're like at one point they were doing the Nazi salute to Winston Churchill's statue. They're just like incredibly stupid people.
You're not on about the BNP, are you?
No, it's the one that it's not called it, but it's like E something.
Oh, EDL.
EDL, that was it.
Yeah, the English Defence League. Oh, what a bunch
of no.
Yeah, they have just I don't know how anyone can take them seriously. Just the most xenophobic, yeah.
Desperate people. Anyway.
You know how you guys have people that you like, yeah, all right, they exist. That's the same.
Basically, like the people that stormed the Capitol building.
In the Capitol? Ugh.
Yeah.
You mean Patriots?
I'm gonna. Okay. I'm gonna have an aneurysm. Is what's gonna happen.
I know. We always say we're not going to get political on here, but then.
Mate, it just happens.
It happens, and like.
I wish you were on Discord, Joe, because I sent a great meme to Sam and Space Time, which I know that you'll appreciate.
What's that?
It was it's hard to describe because obviously it's a meme, it's a visual gag, but it's basically to do with capitalism and stuff. And have you seen the film Life of Brian, Monty Python's Life of Brian?
I saw it so long ago. I loved it, but it's been a long time.
It uses a scene from that, but I think that you would appreciate it if you saw it.
Okay. I usually do.
You need to get this man on Discord.
I've been trying because he's missing out so much of Discord, not just from what we do, but also on the Bricks in Space stuff as well.
Yeah, I do. I need to get onto Discord. I just I don't know. My life is all weird right now, but I think once I get back to a normal life, I'll. Yeah.
This sounds like you're breaking up with us. My life is a bit weird right now. It's not you. It's me.
It's not you. It's me.
Do you know what, Joe? I've been broken up many times, but I think this one hurts the most.
I mean, I broke up with a girl in college, and I just wanted to just be like, it's not me, it's all you.
God!
So, it's
You never have to go through a breakup if you've never had a relationship. So
I tell you what, this time speaks the truth, though.
that is true.
heart's never been broken.
I happened to find the one girl on this planet who knew exactly who I was and said, yeah, okay, I'm ready for this. And no, she wasn't.
She's like, yeah, all right, you'll do.
Yeah. And as my mom says about me and my dad, I married one and I produced another. And then I say to Mom, hey, Mom, Clark's been doing this, this, and this. And she goes, oh, no, you've produced another one. And I'm like, yep.
You've produced another one.
Look what you got it done. Sorry, I'm looking at some of the comments.
Lady Sam B.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we tried to ignore her.
Unfortunately, I can't. She knows where I live.
Oh.
Wait.
Dude, that's a schoolboy error. Never give out where you live.
I didn't. She just turned up on my door one day.
Yeah, Australians do that.
Oh, I need to know more Australians. Every Australian I've ever met is super nice.
How many have you met?
A dozen or so. And then Lady Sam came along, and I'm like, oh.
Pro doesn't count.
Oh. Just kidding, Lady Sam.
I was going to say, watching Home and Away doesn't count as known Australians.
So, Joe, I've got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Your flappy standy thingy
Yes.
for Skylab.
Uh-huh.
Its natural position is not there. That's missed the mark.
That's incorrect. We are a lovely people. Yes, Lady Sam, I know you are.
Yeah.
Is
Well,
that its
of you.
meant to be its natural position?
Yes, or it can. No. That's the straight up position.
So it can go back.
Yes. So push down. So on the.
There you
go. There you go. Yep. Or it can go vertical. So you can do your Skylab vertical or angled. Yep.
Well, that's certainly turned me on a little bit. Joe and his technical stuff, I tell you.
I know of at least one Australian who's not a nice person.
Oh, who that?
Your best friend? Well, by the way, I watched that, and that was so hard to watch.
Right?
Oh, yeah. And
it was exactly the person who I thought you were talking about, too.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I also remembered he also makes like really rude comments about BFAB's mom all the time.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, BFAB just takes it, because that's who he is.
Who's this chode?
Well, from my limited encounter with him, not a very nice person.
Okay. Oh, you just can't take a joke.
Well, in all fairness, the whole stream went silent. Like, one of the co-hosts was like, where is this hate coming from? And he continued. And then three of us all just kind of left at the same time.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just me who was, felt uncomfortable.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, that's some of the reasons. Yeah, never mind.
But I can't blame you, Joe, because he did mention that he originally came from the US. So.
Oh, okay. No, I don't doubt that. Hey,
I've met lots of lovely Americans.
If you want me to defend Americans as a whole, you're talking to the wrong guy. Because you can make fun of Americans and I'd be like, yeah, we are like that.
Like in Manhattan, every single person I met was just lovely and helpful, and it was Orlando where I just kept on encountering assholes everywhere.
Oh yeah, because that's the South.
I mean, there were exceptions, I guess. It's the bad ones that you remember the most. But the one thing that struck me with New York was just how welcoming a place it was. I really miss New York. I've been saying to the missus recently, like, I want to go to New York. As soon as like COVID's on there, she wants to go to places that we were planned to go to over the last 2 years, and that's fair enough because we've got places we haven't been to yet. Before we want to start going back to places we've been, but I'm itching to get back to New York.
So where I grew up in Maryland, we were far enough away that we didn't have to deal with like the busyness of New York, but we were close enough that you could take a trip to New York in a day and then come back home. So I've been there a bunch. I don't know how I'm gonna.
Yeah, I know. Lady Sam watched the clip as well, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, and she gave her verdict as well. I like Lady Sam.
11, 12, 13.
I like her quite a bit, actually, more than Sam knows.
So it's gonna cost me $200 to make all 13 of these Brickheadz.
Really?
How much?
Yeah, 200.
That's not that bad, really. How many Brickheadz is there?
13, but I guess that's not including Guining, who has pieces that don't exist. So I guess that's
Right,
12
okay.
Brickheadz.
So say 12. That's not too bad, really.
How much does a brickhead usually cost?
$10.
$10?
Yeah, about 10 quid over here. So.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's worth doing because it's going to be a nice little display at a convention.
Right.
Yeah.
Now that they're all buildable.
Also, Sam, check your Discord DMs for crying out loud. I heard it go off. You didn't look at it.
Ugh.
It's literally on the other screen that you tell me not to look at during the stream. So I'm going to look at it.
Make up your mind!
Doesn't that look pretty?
The hair.
I've spotted something that's funny in
What?
the bottom right hand corner. Look how many parts it is.
Yeah. 60.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
I think they're great, mate.
The hair pieces for the left and right ones are temporary because I can't find the ones that I want. Well,
Okay, fair enough. Yeah,
the
but
right
they're
one I
still
think
good.
the right one I'm going to do the same hair piece, but I think I'm going to do a dual molded, so I'll have to render it out in 2 different colors and then merge them in Photoshop.
Oh yeah.
Wow, where'd you learn that trick from?
I wonder. I was actually going to ask your advice on something Space Time, actually, because I remember I think it was the diver's helmet on the Scooby-Doo CMF.
Yeah.
Was that from LDD or something that you then put into Blender? Is that right? Because it wasn't in Mecha.
No, I imported it into Studio and then exported to Blender.
Okay, and then you just basically merged it with a Mecha export then, right, in Blender?
In Blender, yeah. I just did another import inside of Blender. I just had to scale it then because, the scales are totally off.
Yeah.
And then
Any tips for doing that for the scale? Is there like a set number, or is it just by sight? Or
I did it by sight, but since it was going over a minifig head, it wasn't too hard to do,
Cool.
So I would just, from Mecha, if you can have like an exposed stud somewhere, or just, export like a plate as well, just so you can try and attach it, That's the best way to scale it, I think.
Okay, and obviously
And
this
then-
have the minifigure head completely bare as well, because that's got the stud on top, right?
Yeah. And then I took I copied the node tree from a part that came from Mecha, so I could get the material properties on that piece correct. So it actually shows up as like actual Lego plastic or rubber or whatever you need it to be.
Okay.
And then I just changed the color from there. So
Okay. Cool.
I think it's
I
always
want to use the you know the Mr. Incredible hairpiece. They also used it for I've forgotten his name now. The guy off Solo. It's not in Mecha, even though it's been out since 2016 apparently. So I'll use that for one of the characters.
Sorry, what is Mecha?
Mecha Bricks. It's
a browser-based designer.
Oh, really?
It sucks for what we do. For what you do.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's better for minifigures.
Yes.
Okay.
Because
I
they
would
actually
say Studio
provide
for like builds Mecha for minifigures is probably the best way of looking at it.
Yeah. And
Okay.
because they actually provide documentation for the UV maps.
Yeah.
Okay. So I should just not worry about it.
Well, you know, we all know how much you adore minifigures.
Well, I got all these minifigures from the Millennium Falcon. I'm just thinking about burning them.
And it's a quick way to also get a better looking render.
Okay.
So if you want to take your studio files, import it into Mecha, and then you get all the material properties taken in, and then you can take it to Blender and make it look really good.
Okay.
But the studio rendering thing is always getting better.
Okay.
So, but it's just
I mean,
like
I don't personally have any complaints about the rendering in Studio, but then
it's
I'm not
that
as
great. But
okay.
I mean, Blender is just it's a free open source like 3D modeling tool that you can basically do computer animations if you wanted to, you know.
Okay. Oh, that's not good. Huh.
What's up, Joe?
The problem with designing stands and everything is
don't say this to me now. I'm building a second
Oh,
one.
no. I'm working on the one for Nerva, and it's you. They're built so sturdy that when you need to take it apart to change something, you're like taking it all apart. Like there's no taking it halfway apart. It's coming apart.
There's a bit of controversy about the UCS 8080 that you can't actually take it fully apart once you build it because certain parts, once they go together, there's no way to like separate them unless you use like pliers or a knife or something.
Are you serious?
That's been rectified. The designers released a video on how to take it apart without using tools.
Oh, okay.
So, all
right. Wait till rain on my parade there, Space Time.
I had to stop you there from spreading fake news.
I want to believe the fiction.
Yeah, I mean, it was just. I mean, Star Wars fans will find anything to complain about.
You know, seriously, you have an entire movie about Han Solo. What more do you want?
A good movie about Han Solo.
Oh, shut it.
He went there.
You want to know what
the
sad thing is? Like, Solo is my favorite Disney movie.
That's not sad. That's beautiful.
I mean, it's sad when you live in a world where Rogue One exists.
I know, but you know.
I mean, Rogue One had good action, just unrelatable and characters you didn't care about.
I cared about them.
agree with you, but
we've established that you have no soul.
I'm starting to think you're a bit more like K2SO than we think. Space Time.
I mean, he was my favorite character of that film. A robot.
And as a fan of the film, he is the best character in the film.
That's not even a lie. He is the best character.
Yeah, that's no joke.
He actually, I don't know, had some emotion. I don't know.
Just like my favorite character in Apollo 13 is Kevin Bacon. Oh, you mean the astronaut he plays? No. The character Kevin Bacon in Apollo 13.
Jim Swaggart,
Yeah, Jim Swaggart.
congressman from Colorado, but never took office.
Jack Swaggart.
Yeah.
So
I don't even know
your
what
favorite
you're
character was
talking
Jack
about now.
Swaggart? No. Kev Bacon was.
We're just like Kevin Bacon.
Kev Bacon saved Apollo 13. No. The movie? No, the mission. It was Kevin Bacon.
I saw him in a time machine go back, save the mission.
No, he's timeless. He was there.
He was there.
You don't know, man. You weren't there.
You weren't there. Prove me wrong.
Kevin Bacon. I like his surname.
Yeah. And you know, the success of his career had something to do with his name.
Well, not amongst Jews.
You would totally go see a Kevin Bacon movie, but you wouldn't go see a Kevin Hot Dog movie.
You know, I just might. I got to see if this Kevin Hot Dog is any good.
Kevin pulled pork.
Wow.
So, Lady Sam, sorry, I'm looking at one of these comments. Your sister is in New York City and is planning to go to Florida and NASA. That's a fun trip.
Her sister is in New York City. The other day, she went and visited her. So, what's happening there?
She ran away.
I don't currently live anywhere near New York City.
She saw what was happening in the UK. And
I don't trust Lady Sam. She's a suspicious one.
You know, generally, I would agree with you.
I mean, for one, what on earth does she see in Sam?
Do you know what? I've asked her this like 5 times today already. My insecurities are like right up here.
You're like, you're allowed to go at any time. You do not have to stay here.
Yeah, Lady Sam, you're not a. Your ability to withstand abuse is not like it's not a good character trait.
Who, me?
No, Lady Sam.
Oh, wait. You abuse Lady Sam?
No.
No, but we're. Why is he sweating so much?
No wonder she keeps coming down to my house all the time for a cuddle. Just a cuddle.
Mate, that would be funny if she could actually, if she had a car she could drive.
Mate, have you never heard of Megabus? Or Megabus Gold?
Again, that would be funny if she could get a bus from where we live.
You live out in the middle of nowhere.
Pretty much, mate.
I mean, besides being in England.
Oh.
Joe, how close is the nearest pub to you, mate?
Like 5 minutes.
Yeah. 100 yards.
Oh. Yeah. I got a stash of alcohol downstairs, so.
So have I. I've got beer. I think Lady Sam said we had like 20 bottles of wine.
When did this turn into a competition of who's got the most alcohol?
I don't know.
Very briefly.
Very briefly, yep. Oh.
This is basically, you know, Joe's always going to win the who's his bigger competition.
Oh, well, always.
Always.
Have some self-esteem, Sam Jones.
So, you know, we might as well play the who's got more bottles, and well, I'm hoping.
Okay, fine. You're a more deplorable drunk.
Fairness,
I'll give you that.
What Lady Sam has told me, it's not the size is the issue; it's what he does with it. That's the problem.
I don't like this conversation anymore.
I fucked this up. Oh no, I haven't. I just used the wrong slopey thing. That's okay.
Again, what? How did I fuck this up? I used the wrong slopey thing. What slopey thing?
FaceTime. Serious question. What do I export as to put the studio piece into Blender?
Kaleda.
Kaleda.
So, I think I'm getting good at making stands. I hate to say it.
Well, you
Joe,
should make
like I say-
instructions and start selling them.
What?
You should make instructions and start selling.
Yeah.
Do you know what? That's a great idea, Space Time. He's going to take it, market it, and run with it.
I seriously have to figure something out for this Millennium Falcon, because like Scott and I are not exaggerating. You tip this thing more than 30 degrees, just parts start falling off of it. And I wanted to display it at 90 degrees.
I've
Up
seen
against
people
my wall.
display it like that though, and they've not had that problem. So I don't get it. I'm really confused.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably someone modified it extensively, which is probably what I'm going to have to do.
Holy crap! This piece is small.
That's what she said.
Good night, everybody.
Literally.
And that's Jenga.
Uno. Do you have that game in the UK?
Yeah.
Uno? Okay.
Did you just try and do a British accent then as well?
No.
In the UK?
In the UK? If I slip into a British accent, it's just because you guys are like my only friends.
Oh.
Oh, Joe.
I'm sorry.
Whatever. My buddy Neely watches this.
Wait, you're friends with Jacob?
No, his nickname is Neely. His real name is Okay, all right.
What
No,
the
no.
hell?
Do you want to finish that?
Let's stop.
Let me see.
Stop.
Let me see if I can do this British like. My best mate. No, my best friend from we've been friends since we were 10. His first name is Michael, but he went by his middle name Cameron, but we always just called him by his nickname Neely. Like to this day, I just call him Neely.
I'm not gonna lie. When you said his first name was Michael, I was really hoping you say his second name was Knight.
Why?
Because the Knight Rider.
I'm sorry. I can't do that, Michael.
I'm sorry, I cannot do that, Michael. Okay, ready? This will either be a disaster or pretty cool.
Disaster.
How would you scale in Blender? What the hell? Well, that's cool.
Yep.
Yes, Joe. Yes, Joe, the man.
It works. And then each of the other boosters has its own wall hanging stand, which also they can hang on the wall, or they're just good stands.
Nice.
So
Here's a top question for you.
yeah,
That stand configuration you have there, Joe,
uh-huh.
could you convert it to?
Possibly. Let me see what I can do with this sucker. Oh man, that would be Craggle.
Wow.
What if I had just had instead of a bunch of phallic symbols standing up, I just had a bunch of phallic symbols like hanging horizontal on my wall, just or pointed slightly upward like this.
So basically, you want your room to have the wall of cock.
Just dick everywhere. Just giant turgid wieners.
Oh, Joe, you hero.
The thing is,
Why? 'Cause
I've
I
been
thought the word
to
turgid?
Amsterdam, I've been to a sex museum, and what you're describing is pretty standard there.
They're everywhere. There are dicks everywhere. I'm either in Utah or in a sex museum. Oh boy. Sam.
When,
Yeah.
when are you going back to work?
2 weeks from Monday.
All right. Good luck.
Oh boy. Oh, whoops. I have so many stages to this thing that I just don't know.
What
Which one's
stage is
which?
what?
Yeah.
Well, Joe, I'll be honest, that doesn't surprise me.
Uh-huh. Why is that, Sam?
Well, it's just they all look the same.
Hmm.
They've
Well,
all got
I'm
a
gonna
bit
have
of
a
grey, bit of
I'm
yellow.
gonna have a nice little redesign of Nerva before you start building it. I'm just warning you.
Well, that's fine. As long as you put the instructions in your Google Drive, when I click the link in the README, it'll be all right.
Okay. I'm liking these stands a whole lot more than my original one. I mean, let me ask you guys. So I have this stand that's just that goes to, the smaller boosters, and they just sit on there like that. They don't attach, nothing spectacular.
So
But
they're a
they're
bit
cheap.
like the Saturn V ones for the actual Saturn V.
Yeah, but they're really cheap.
Yeah.
Or this is probably 3 times more expensive, but they look cooler and you can hang them on a wall. I guess my question is, if you were to get this, these instructions from me, would you want both options, or would you just say, no, just go with the simple ones?
For me, I would want the fancy one because it looks more sturdy. And if I'm thinking of just laying the model flat, or just using it as a proper stand, it just looks better and more sturdy. There's a reason why I don't have the Saturn V laying on its side, because I don't trust that stand with as much,
As far as you can throw it. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas I like the look of those stands. They look solid, just like the Skylab ones you've obviously sent me. And it gives you that flexibility to go, I can hang this on a wall.
Now the question is, do I provide instructions of, hey, this is how you hang it on the wall?
What you could do, if you wanted to, it depends what level of arsehole you want to be, really. You can either change the instructions altogether and say, no, this is the new stand, and put that one in. Or you could go, hang on a sec, I've designed a new stand for Nerva and for Nerva and for MLV and whatever. That is a separate add-on instruction. That's like $2.
I don't like doing that. I mean, it's like if you buy my LUT instructions, like every single version comes with it.
Yeah.
If I wanted to nickel and dime someone, I'd be like, oh, you want the milk stool version, huh? That's an extra $5. I just don't feel like doing stuff like that.
In that case, then you put it in your original instruction set and just be done with it.
Okay. Now, if you do want to turn this into a wall hanger, you have to drill a hole through that piece.
That's it. You've lost everyone.
I know. Like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. How do you import a picture of a drill into Studio?
Hey, I did import that picture of like a hobby knife cutting rigid hose pieces.
Oh, speaking of that, did you reply to the guy on Bricks in Space who was asking after you?
No, like when?
It was a couple of days ago. He was on about.
Gee.
He was on about asking about your instructions, basically saying. Joe says in his description he asked that you have to modify parts, but what do you have to modify, and what level of modification do you have to do? So I thought, hey, great. I'll tag Joe in this. If I tag Joe, Joe will see it at some point when he logs in and he'll reply.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I gotta go soon. Oh, geez.
Oh, geez, yeah, you better add.
Oops. Someone ruined a birthday party.
No, I'm waiting for Emily and Clark to come back.
It's a group effort now.
Yep. Oh, well. Okay, yeah, I'll find it. I'm not seeing it. Huh. Weird.
No, I definitely tagged you in it. He might have deleted it, or he might have got his answer.
Okay.
Yeah,
and the answer to that is it's not very much. Well, at least the newest version, version 5, I reduced the number of parts that you have to modify by like 90%. Like I just got rid of as many as I could. So but yeah. Okay. All right, guys. I should probably go and get ready.
Well, before you go, Joe, here is your moment.
Okay.
Sell yourself.
I am Joe Chambers. I'm an electrical engineer. I live in Utah. No. Thanks for having me on, guys. You can find my stuff at Skylab Bricks on Etsy. I'm on Facebook occasionally. The best way to get a hold of me, go ahead and just email me, legojoe109@gmail.com.
As shown in the previous story, how easy it is to talk to
Facebook. I know. On Facebook, it's I try, but maybe not enough. Or just message me on Etsy. I get an email about that. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to head out and go to my nephew's birthday party and go swimming outside where it's 30 degrees. No.
What's that real temperature?
What was that?
What's that real temperature?
What was it? 35?
30. It's 0. It's near
about
0.
-1.
Yeah, about -1.
That's brave even for us, that isn't it, Greg?
I know.
Well, it's a bunch of snow out there. Anyway, guys, thanks for letting me ruin your stream for the day. But
see you, Joe. Have fun swimming.
I'm not being
Thanks.
funny. If
You
he's trying to
too?
take credit for ruining the stream, we and him are going to have words.
Okay, we'll see you later, guys.
Later.
Yeah.
Space
Oh,
I've
there
got
you
a question for you. You mentioned about adding the node in Blender to a piece.
Yeah.
So can that be any piece? Because I've got some stuff from Mecha in there already.
Yeah. I would just something of similar plastic,
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how to do this. So if I go to part and then how do you copy the node over exactly? Because I'm doing.
I did like a Control A, or I just clicked and highlighted the whole entire node tree.
I'm just trying to figure out what exactly is the node in this. Do I? If I go into the parts, like in the the drop down thing on there, I've got like a triangle with squares on the corners. Is that it?
Hold on, I'm gonna have to open up Blender again. So at the top where you see layout, you want to go to shading. Click on that tab.
Oh god, yeah.
and you click on a similar element, and you should see the entire node tree appear on the bottom half of the screen for that element.
Okay.
So you should see a bunch of boxes and lines being drawn.
Yes, I've got like base material, mix
Yep.
shader.
So copy all of that, like click and drag, and right click copy.
So what parts do I click then? Because there's literally scale on here. I don't want to click that, obviously. But there's base material, mix shader, and material output. Just those three, or there's also one that says normal.
Can you share your screen?
Yeah, bear with me.
Add this.
Okay. So, and is that a piece from Mecha?
Yes.
Okay, so use your scroll wheel or something to zoom out just a little bit. And just click and drag and form a box around everything.
What, including the scaling?
Everything. Oh.
Because I've had to scale it, so wouldn't that change the scaling?
Which piece are you highlighted right now?
I'm highlighted the piece from Mecha.
And you have a scaling thing on it?
No, I've got a piece on the one from Studio. Because I had to scale that up because it was too small.
Okay. So can you go to the top window? Can you zoom out? I just want to see what you're clicking on. Because I just see a blank screen.
I don't really want to share that on here yet.
Because I don't. Because
So if I just get these four, would that be okay?
I'm just trying to understand why you're using a scaling. I don't know how you scaled that. Because what
I haven't touched the scale on this piece from Mecha. That's just there.
Yeah,
what I'm saying is if I copy that and I apply that to the piece from Studio, it's going to undo what I've already scaled it up to fit.
I've just never seen the scale box show up in the node tree like that. Because the way I've always done scaling was under, what is it?
I haven't done this. This is just on there when I've imported it from Mecha.
Yeah, I mean, just can you click to the piece that you have scaled and just memorize those numbers or write them down just in case?
I guess. Okay.
Because yeah, I would just copy that whole tree over. I'm just trying to see if I have anything, if I have a Mecha file that I can open up.
Huh, it doesn't let me paste it on there.
Okay. So let me show you. Let me share my screen. I'll show you what to do. So I'm going to choose this torso piece.
I'm Batman.
So copy. How did I? Copy and then paste. Click on the new piece you want. And you got to make sure this is clicked here that use nodes because there's probably nothing there.
Okay.
And then just right click and paste. And it should paste that whole entire new node tree there. And then you can go to the MB color and put your new color in for whatever you would need that piece to be.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. And this
Does
is
that
what
work?
Oh. I'm supposed to change something on here. I forgot it. The thing I needed to use to make all the stickers show up. What was that?
This is the first proper look at Blender for me. I've not really looked at it.
There we go.
Oh,
This is supposed to be my sig fig at one point, but I never. I changed my hair.
did you? Must have been asleep that day.
Yeah. But yeah, this is the beautiful world of Blender. I guess I'll bring this up. I think I found a color that's going to work for Guinan. A dark purple.
Oh, okay, yeah. Dark purple is good.
I need to see let me go view, auto info. Do we have anything that's conflicting?
We can click the color validator button over there on the over on the step list side now, and that will tell you immediately if there's any color issues. And so if you go up a level, that color validator, right to the very top where it says step list, you've got color validator, and it will tell you exactly what part and how what you can rectify it into as well.
That's nice. All that's missing is the cat.
Which,
Yeah, I can order this now.
yeah,
I like it.
that's awesome. They look really cool, man.
Let's see, how much is it going to be? 212 for 13
Not bad at
Brickheadz.
all. Not bad at
I'm
all.
going to do one last thing because what was it? The 2x2 triangle tile. But I want that in dark purple, but I don't think it is available. Nope. It is available. Ooh, what if I do dark blue instead?
So I guess what you gotta do is have a piece that's the same color.
Not necessarily. You can change the RGB value to whatever you want.
Okay.
Is it because you don't know the RGB value? Or
Well, I just put it in and it didn't change anything. It's just set to like another one color.
should have updated.
No, it's not updating on here.
Because yeah, if you look on my screen again, if I click the color here, I can change it to whatever, and you can see the hair color changing.
He's going crazy.
Maybe in the no tree was the color out from MB color to base material. Was it?
Oh, I know what it's doing. It's changing it for all pieces.
Oh.
So the other color I've got that is that color. It's freaking changing it. So that's why I'm thinking, well, why is it the same color as that? It's because it's freaking changing it for. Oh, that's annoying.
Are you sure you have the new piece that's selected?
Yeah, what I'm saying is when you go into it and change it there, it changes the color for any piece that is the same color as what the part is originally.
That's interesting. It should have copied it over and not be replicated. They shouldn't be linked.
Well, that's what it's doing.
I'm not sure if I have a different setting on mine. But yeah, can I do... Nope. I just want by color. Can I do this in dark blue? Or just regular blue? Nope. Dark purple. Okay, we can't do it. Okay. just gonna have to call it. It's gonna be what it is. All right. Well, next month when I get some cash, I'm gonna make these.
Nice. I'm looking forward to seeing those, mate, because they look really cool.
Yeah. So I need to talk and see if I can get my printer guy to print these on tiles for me, or if I should just make stickers.
Well, how many of them are there? There's what, 7, 8?
Yeah, there's gonna be 1, 2, 3 reds, 2 blues, 3 yellows, 4 yellows, and then Warp has a special one.
Obviously, because Warp
because I didn't do a 2x4 towel on him.
Yeah, I see what you've done there.
Yeah.
Clever. Very clever.
Okay, I was gonna say, did I do that on his back too? Yeah, I did. Okay. I kind of want to make Troy's hair more round. I don't know. I just feel like it's too squared off here. And I cheated with Crusher's hair because I took the Black Widow hair piece from her Brickhead and just used that for Crusher.
I don't think it's too bad, though. It does remind me of Beverly.
Okay. But yeah, what about Troy? Because I think her hair is the roughest.
She was always quite bushy, even in the later series when she was obviously wearing the uniform.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's fine. It's probably fine. Should I make Row? I should make this like a plate higher, huh? She looks a little flat.
I don't know. I think that's all right, to be honest. Because if you think about it, her hairband covers most of it.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, I just need to. I'm at the point where I need to let it go.
Let it go, man. You've done. That's done.
I guess the only
Hang
other
on a sec, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news: Spacetime's finished a mock.
Oh my goodness!
This is it. You heard it here first.
I don't believe it.
The evidence is before your eyes.
I still don't believe it.
I mean, should I make phasers and tricorders as like hand props, or would that be too hard to do on a Brickhead scale? What would a phaser look like?
Yeah, that's it. What would a phaser look like in Brickhead scale, especially when you think the most adaptable piece for it, or a piece that's close to being what it might look like from the next generation, would be a...
I got an idea.
Almost, as daft as it sounds, a claw piece.
So I just grabbed a flick fire missile piece and put a slope on the end of it.
Because they started off with the small phasers, didn't they?
Yeah, the handheld ones. Yeah,
The little ones, they're this big, and then they went slightly bigger.
So what if I put like a 1x1? Should it be a brick? Maybe.
No.
No? Okay.
Sorry, I was talking to myself there. Sorry.
No, I'm taking it all as design. I don't know. What do you think, Sam?
I'm not really feeling phaser.
No. What if I
can see it.
What if I put a sticker up here with a red and white button?
Yeah, that'll probably do it. That'd sell it.
No, I don't want that. Oh, crying out loud, man.
What's the pyramid piece? Does that come in black?
Yeah, that comes in black. I've got one.
Oh, yeah. Can you send a couple over?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
I mean, Joe's your best bet because he's the one who makes me buy them for his mocks.
I don't know. Have you talked to that guy?
Yes, you raise a fair point there.
I wouldn't talk to that guy.
He's crazy.
This is so annoying.
What are you trying to do? You still working on that thing?
Yeah, because the thing is, I've done what Space-Time did, but whenever I change anything in terms of the color, it changes it for the piece that I copied the nodes from, and I don't know why. So I think I'm just going to have to try and recreate it, just making a note of all the individual set parts of the node, so that way they're not connected.
Oh.
Because it's just changing everything. It's always changing like the other piece to the same settings, same color.
I think you're probably right. I should probably just let the phasers and tricorders go. It's not going to be doable at this scale and look good.
No, I think they're fine as they are, mate. To be honest, they look spot on.
Yeah, just give the engineers a wrench and.
Yeah, that's all you need. You don't need to do anything major more than that.
And I mean, I even made a fun little bat lift for war, you know.
And that's cool because I can see that being a bat lift.
I didn't know what it was.
Yeah. Cool. All right, mock complete. I did it.
There was meant to be more people applauding, but yeah. Well done, Space Time. We're all super proud of you.
So,
well, some of us.
If you saw if you saw on Instagram this week, I got the exosuit for the Green Spaceman.
Oh yeah.
I did not like building the exosuit at all.
I've heard it's a pretty awful build.
I mean, it kind of looks cool, but it's like I don't want to do it again. It is just all gray and dark and yeah. Spacemen are cool. Oh, I just realized my I just saw the private chat. What was it? Oh, my speed build video for Spider-Man No Way Home. I just realized I left out the buildable monster in the Sanctum Sanctorum. I'm like, because I did the little revolve video and added some speed ramps to it.
I like that little revolving video. Look cool.
Yeah, and I used the Iron Man mosaic as the background. That gave a nice little blur. So
I wasn't a fan.
Yeah, I know you didn't. It seemed like something you wouldn't like.
I just felt like I was being shortchanged because it said it was 15 hours and it wasn't. Oh wait, no, that's the other one.
Yeah, it took me 15 hours to build Spider-Man No Way Home sets.
Can you imagine?
In reality, you were done within like 20 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I got to head off to work.
Wow, you're dropping like flies today.
I know, to get that mock money.
Well, that's understandable. You know, when you finish your first mock, this is what happens. You start going, yeah, I just need money now to build it.
So 2022, it's going to be year of the mock.
Okay, in that case then, Peter, sell us on 2022 you.
Yeah. So there's going to be a stream on Monday. I have quite a few sets to pick from the build. I guess I could put a poll up on the channel, or we can just do a mock-up episode and continue working on mocks. That might be a good idea. I will be having a special stream later in the week on Thursday the 23rd. I'm going to be celebrating Festivus by building the Seinfeld set. So, you know what Festivus is in the UK, right?
Nope.
All right. Probably aren't familiar with Seinfeld then. Huh.
I am aware it was on television at one point, possibly Channel 4 early in the morning. I have not watched it.
All right. Well then,
So you'll have to educate us on the stream.
Yeah, I will educate you on what Festivus is. It's an alternative to the commercialization of the holiday season. So, but yeah. Well,
Okay.
and and I guess it's getting close to the end of the year, and hopefully I got a couple of videos in the progress to see what I can get out in the next 2 weeks, and it's gonna be great.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for coming, Space Time.
You're welcome. And I will see you guys maybe on Monday if you're available.
Well, my diary's looking clear.
Well, have a good one.
You
Bye,
too.
everybody.
Catch you later. And then there was
I'm
just
so
a
gutted he's
screaming
gone now
bearded.
because I got to talk to you on my own.
Well, there's just a screaming bearded guy now.
I know I haven't changed that back yet, have I?
No, you've not changed your name either. I'm kind of hoping you leave it, so the next stream you join, you just get this, which will be hilarious. Because if it's someone like Cajun Yetis or even Space Times,
I love it.
oh dear.
Oh man.
So how is your mock coming? Are you feeling it?
Yes and no. I'm gonna bit feed off with some of the stuff on here. The mock is pretty done. It's trying to get these minifigures like to look how I want them to, if that makes sense. So, what the snot are you? There you go. How about you? What are you working on?
Well, I was working on these stands that Joe asked me to design and test for his Skylab build.
Wait,
built
you're
the stand.
designing them? I thought he was designing them.
No. Joe designed them, but I'm testing them for him.
Oh, okay, I get you now.
But my Skylab's all the way over there on my building desk or my designing desk, and it's in a good condition, and I need to take most of it apart to be able to put this stand on. So I'm like, I'll do that another day.
Yeah.
Because there's like a lot of parts that I need to take away, and it's basically going back to step 29.
Oh.
Which is like the beginning.
Yeah, I don't recommend that right now.
No, I'm thinking I should be able to take the paneling off, and then
That's a good word. That is should.
Yeah,
There's all manner of sins that does.
Yeah. So I should be able to take the paneling off and be left with the core, which means I can modify the bits of the core I need to, and then put the paneling back on. And in theory, it should work. But do you know what I might do? I might make it into a video so people can watch me fail.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great idea.
Well, I'm still waiting for you to do a video anyway, so...
Mate, like I said today, I started recording one today and I ended up deleting it because I hated the sound of my own voice and I sounded like a stalker.
Yeah, I hate the sound of my own voice as well, which you wouldn't believe the amount of times that I talk, you know, but...
Honestly, I was watching it back and I'm there going, why did I do this? Why did I pick up the camera? Why am I now behind the camera, heavy breathing like a stalker? I was sat here getting quite angry at myself, so in the end I just deleted the file and went, I'll do it again. Maybe I'll have a beer beforehand to loosen my lips and make me a bit better.
Loosen your lips and sway your hips.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know, but to me, when I hear my voice back recorded, it sounds nothing like what I hear when I'm speaking in real time. There's some sort of filter on my ears that, as I'm talking to you now, my voice sounds really cool. I sound like a young Anthony Hopkins. But then when I hear it back, I sound like, whose coat is that jacket? Hi, and welcome back to Cut the Craggle. I likes Legos, I does. Oh, sorry, was that a fart?
Dear, dear.
And it's just if anyone is looking for a way to learn how to hate themselves, record your own voice and play it back. And not only play it back, but have to spend time editing a video where you have to hear yourself say the same thing over and over again.
Seconded. Because there's been a video I've been trying to edit of me and Joe where I actually did a proper sit-down interview with him from way back in March before I moved. And I think we ended up talking for a better part of 2 hours. And like some of it's really good stuff.
Yeah.
And some of it's like just waffle. But like I'm there having to edit it. And it's like me asking a question and I'm there going, why did you say it in that tone of voice, you idiot? It's like, what are you doing?
I can totally relate to that.
I'm just there going, what'd you speak like that for? That's disgraceful. How dare you speak to Joe like that?
I guess when I made that joke earlier on the stream, I was like, I'm pretty sure that the Americans don't realize I'm joking. the why I went back to school joke.
Oh, yeah.
I can tell you did, because I just saw you laughing and shaking your head.
Yeah, it's because...
You probably heard the joke. I swear, I can't remember the name. It was a British comedian that made the joke. I think it might have been on, like, one of the panel shows or something, but it popped into my head as soon as he said it. And I held off initially, and I was like, oh, do you know what? Screw it, I'm saying it.
It probably was on one of the panel shows. I just can't remember which one, but it does sound familiar.
Yeah.
But it's a good joke nonetheless. Just like your joke the other week.
Well, that one.
That one. Pure gold. That had me in stitches for hours afterwards.
Did you tell Lady Sam what I said on that one?
Yeah, I did, mate. I went back and told her. Literally, I turned off my monitors after the stream.
Yeah.
And I walked out of the Lego room, went to the bedroom, got some water, and went. Cracking joke by Craggle, by the way. Told her it, and she just went, "That's brilliant."
You got a keeper there. If she likes that kind of humor, she's a keeper.
She was in stitches as well.
Oh,
mate, it was very, very good joke.
It reminds me of another one, actually. You heard, you know what they say about the swans mate for life? It's not true. They fly away as soon as you let go of them. Have I broken you again? Is Sam broken?
That's good, but I don't think that's as good as your the other one, to be honest.
No, that was brilliant. I thought that was, and I think the timing was dead on as well. There you go. So, what are we doing now? We going for a bit longer, or are we going to wrap things up soon, or?
We'll go to 2. We'll go
Cool.
to 2. I think it is a cool idea because
Nice
we like round numbers here.
Yes. I tried looking up, because I think it was on your stream that I was talking about, like, how people often think of 5 as a round number, even though it's not. And it is actually a term for it, because, like, every other multiplication of 5 is even. And I looked it up and I couldn't find it, but I do know it is a thing. I remember, like, hearing it somewhere or reading it somewhere that it is actually, there's a term for it, where it's an odd number that is perceived as round because the fact that every other one is even.
Oh.
The only example I can think of is 5, but apparently there are more.
No, I'm not aware of what that is.
Are you a
called.
mathematician?
No, I'm not.
Well, there you go then.
No, I successfully did nothing with maths, even though I was studying to be a physicist in college.
Were you really? I didn't know you were going to be a physicist.
Yeah, I was doing physics, computing, IT.
I know you were doing computing and stuff. I didn't know you were doing physics.
I was doing maths on the side as well, because obviously it helps, apparently. I was doing electronics as well. I wanted to be a physicist.
I was studying physics, and they said to me, why is it that you want to study physics? And I said, I want to be able to read people's minds. And they realized that I was dyslexic.
See, I just wanted a PhD. if you expand those letters PhD into actual words. But yeah, no, I was like, I want to do cool stuff with space and science and particles that don't exist, and
yet you haven't even finished the book that you sent me a copy of yet.
Correct. I don't even know where it is, mate.
I enjoyed it. It's funny because it's about the science, but quite often it's more about the philosophical. I can't say the word.
Philosophical.
That's it. There you go. God,
Yeah.
see, this is what happens. You just lose the ability to speak on camera. Those kind of questions that arise, and also the moral questions, the morality of technology and science.
Oh yeah, okay.
When I first received it from you, I thought first of all it was just going to be going through, like, oh, this is why this episode is baloney because the science behind it, and it does have a bit of that, but it does go into some more in-depth stuff, and some of the stuff in it also made me think, damn, that would actually be a good idea in itself for a science fiction story.
Okay.
But there was a bit about time travel that I really enjoyed because I've read lots about time travel and different theories. And I've, in my head or actually on paper somewhere, I've written down like about a dozen different time travel stories that I wanted to make if I become a filmmaker or whatever, So
yeah.
So I love the different like concepts of time travel, different theories, and of the rules surrounding it. In cinema,
and that's one of the things that I really love as well. Those the rules.
Yeah, because in cinema there tends to be two main ones, maybe three, but there's definitely two main ones. One is the sort of self-fulfilling prophecy, which means that you've always traveled back in time. You always will travel back in time. So whatever you do doesn't change anything because you were always meant to do it. It's kind of like the Terminator, And then there's the other one then, which is kind of like the butterfly effect, where just farting in the wrong direction causes a tornado that wipes out half the human population,
Yes, yeah, exactly, yeah.
But there are other ones that go with that I like. So.
Yeah,
So go ahead.
I always like the one that did it for me. I think the film that did it the best for me that I really enjoyed was The Time Traveler's Wife. Did you ever see that?
I've seen part of it. I am aware of the storyline. He keeps on like phasing out and coming back, and he like jumping over time or something.
Yeah, so he can't control it, which interesting premise. Really like it, and I like how it's attributed to an individual rather than a group, because it's like, okay, what happened for him to be able to do that and all that sort of stuff, but I like all the it's like he's not governed by a body or anything or science or anything. He makes up his rules and says, I can't do this, I can't cross my own lines and all that. But then sometimes he doesn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Because he gets thrown into his living room. And he gets thrown into his hallway or his garden or whatever. And it's it's done really well. And I really enjoyed that book. I absolutely loved it to pieces. But that one for me, they just do it really well because they don't bore you with technical stuff or anything like that. It's just it's a gene deficiency.
Was it a romance story in there? I thought.
Yeah. is basically he ends up going back to a fixed point. He's always seems to be going back to the same point, or the same point in space, but a different point in time, if you will. Where it's always the bottom of this field, and he's meeting the first time he meets this girl, and she's getting older, she's getting older, she's getting older every time he rocks up, and eventually it turns out that she's going to be the person he marries.
Huh.
Because he goes forward, because he's like.
Have you, it reminds me a bit. Have you seen the film? And again, it wasn't a great film, but it had a really interesting premise. The Jacket with Adrian Brody.
I think I have, yeah.
Yeah, and Keira Knightley.
Yes.
Daniel Craig as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an interesting one, because in that one, like he's a soldier who's just come back from the war, and he gets basically a frame for murder, and he gets put into a psychiatric ward, and the doctor there's a lunatic, and like doses them up with drugs, puts them in a straitjacket, and puts them in a morgue chamber for whatever reason. Like, it's never really explained. There's something to do with his own sort of experiments, you know. Yeah. He's almost a bit like a Jonathan Crane scarecrow, you know, doing experiments on the mind and like pushing it to limits.
Yes, yeah.
But what happens is that when they go into that thing with the drugs, and they actually go back in time.
Oh.
And yeah, really outlandish premise, you know, sort of like, why would that someone back in time? But it was an interesting premise. You know, it wasn't time travel from a scientific point of view, but kind of, you know, almost a fantastical type thing, you know?
And that's one of the things I liked about The Time Traveler's Wife as well. It wasn't time travel from a science fiction point of view of, you know, don't step on a butterfly, you know, don't.
See, this is why you never made as a physicist.
Yeah. like down to the
wall. I like that, but I prefer stuff where there's a bit of science behind it. Like, yeah. And then, like, it's weird, but in each of my stories, like, the time travel is done a different way and it has different rules, and that's kind of I wanted to explore different, you know. The one that I loved came from a documentary I was watching. This guy was trying to invent time travel.
Yeah.
And originally, you know, the idea that sort of pushed him, and this is a true story, the guy who was working on it was a physicist, and it was because he wanted to see his dad again, because his dad had died. But he realized it was never going to happen, but he still was he'd done so much, you know, sort of into it. But, like, he was saying that there is a way that in which particles can be sent through time. And, like, they were trying to do this, almost a bit like the Boston Collider. But he was saying that with the machine that he was theorizing could be possible, I'm trying to think what the best way to describe it. Basically, you would turn this device on.
Yeah.
And then any point in the future when the device is still kept on, if you kept on permanently, you could travel from that point in the future as early as when the device was first switched on. But you couldn't go forwards, you couldn't go back to where you came from, and you couldn't go any further back than when the device was first switched on.
Okay.
So it's almost like, I guess, it's kind of like if you recorded live television. You could go back and watch, you know, whatever you recorded, but you couldn't go back further when you hit record, you know?
Oh, yeah, okay.
That kind of thing. But you wouldn't, but his idea was you wouldn't be scenery one. You wouldn't be just an observer. You would go back in time, but you could only go as far as when you turn this device on, because it's almost like this is a channel to go through. So you're opening up the gate to this point to allow people from the future to come back to this point.
Oh.
And they touch about it a little bit in the book you gave me. And I was like, I remember this. But I guess you haven't got that far yet.
No, I haven't.
They only briefly touch upon it, like, you know, when they're going through other stuff. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. Why the snot have you done that? Why is there all random noisy bits on here? Oh, what?
Oh, is it doing that thing again?
There's like all random white dots on my render.
Oh.
I don't know why. She swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die. Oh.
Maybe that needs some investigation. But as it is, mate, we've hit the 2-hour mark.
Whoa.
So we're gonna wrap it up here. I'm gonna hand over to the screaming beard man to close us out and let us know what's in the pipeline for him this week or over the next month or so or whatever.
That's a very good question. I'm continuing to do the daily shorts of me opening the Lego Marvel Avengers Advent Calendar. I've got a bunch of projects on the go, but nothing really ready to produce a finished video at the moment. So you'll have to kind of basically wait and see what I decide to put first or what I manage to finish first.
Well,
that's about it. That's all I got.
Waiting it is then. Cool. Let's do it. You do? Did I hear right? You might be doing a Christmas party stream, or did I imagine that?
Well, I put it out there on the members only Discord, and like only you and Lady Sam replied. So I just basically thought, okay, no one's interested.
All right, cool. Yeah, I would have been down. Christmas party tunes.
Well, maybe we'll just have one ourselves then. Me, you, Lady Sam, or something. I don't know.
Yeah, mulled wine, candles and fires. Lego.
Car keys in the goldfish bowl.
Oh yes, there it is. Yes, excellent. That sounds like fun. And on that note, folks, we will certainly. Well, I was going to say I'll do this again next week, but next Saturday's Christmas Day, which.
Oh yeah.
I'll be honest. Probably would have had a few drinks in me by this point, and I would have been in a food coma. So won't be doing one, and won't be doing one Boxing Day because I'm working. So maybe the 27th once I've had my booster jab, but we'll see. We'll see if there's any scope for that and see what everybody else is doing. But on that note, folks, yeah, we will see you all next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.